If there's sunshine, if it's September 27th, 2011, we must be at Cvph Medical Center.
Absolutely.
Mike Hildebrand, how are you?
I am fine. I'm happy to be here, and this is an exciting time for us with this expansion of the emergency care center.
This is not intended to be a secret. People have known that they were building this new ECC for a long time, but the worst part of growing old for me is the fact that it seems like last Tuesday you and I were here saying, look at this new emergency care center we just built at least a decade ago.
August of 1997, we opened what we thought was the end-all be-all. And it turned out that we didn't build it large enough, and we've cobbled together things through the years. It's been challenging for the staff. It's been challenging for the 50,000 plus patients that use the emergency department now. We're very happy with this addition. We think it's going to do some great things for us, and we've got another addition that's underway that'll be completed in about 4 months.
We have seen so many massive changes. Somebody sent me a note from California this morning saying, oh, I understand you're going over to do a TV show at the open house today. I guess it isn't your grandfather's physician's hospital anymore.
Not even close. I mean, the growth here, as you well know, has just been phenomenal. I mean, I've been here, it'll be 20 years late next month, and so many things have been added. We employ about 900 people more today than when I came back in 1991. I mean, we employ 2,300 people. We've got specialties that we only dreamed about, and it's a marvelous facility.
You know, it's been a great pleasure for Kelvin Castine behind the hometown cable camera there and me to be a part of this growth from the very beginning with the camera, and before that with myself on the radio, and to watch this amazing metamorphosis over the last years. I started on the radio here 50 years ago, and yes, it was far different. Parking way back here and going through a tunnel to get inside, and what fun.
If you are the right age, your fondest memories may have been of that tunnel that was out there in the parking lot that took people right to the front entrance of the old Physicians Hospital, which of course went away back in the late 60s when the two hospitals merged.
Just give us a little précis of the genesis of this new, we don't call it the ER anymore.
Oh no,
it's the ECC.
ECC, the Emergency Care Center. Well, as I said, back in 97 when we opened what's, I guess, the nucleus for this existing department, it was at a time when everyone said that emergency department utilization because of managed care was going to be shrinking, if you will. And we were averaging about 35,000 patients a year at the time. So we built it actually for 33 to 35,000 patients. It was a marvelous facility. And it grew and it grew and it grew, and for at least the last 10 years, we've exceeded 50,000 visits. So we were adding space here, we were adding space there, we were doing our best. But one of the interesting things, although we've leveled out between 50 and 52, 53,000 patients a year, people are sicker today. We have a far higher percentage of our patients coming into the emergency department who end up being admitted. And of course what that means is, it's not all that quick in and out stuff. This was creating a lot of problems for us, and it was making it incredibly challenging for the staff. So we worked very closely with the staff to try to come up with a new design. We were very fortunate for this project. We got almost 100% funding from the state. And I believe we've added 9 treatment rooms.
Yes, that's what I hear.
Much better design. But the other piece of it is they've already begun work over here on a new fast track. And that fast track will handle the in and out, quick in and out people. And you'll see when we go inside, very nice design. You come in the entrance behind us. You're right there for triage. If you go to fast track, you'll go to your right, and you're right there. If you go inside, boom, you're inside. And the new addition, of course, buttresses up to the previous department quite nicely. People have been very impressed when they see it.
we're very impressed now as we're doing this actually a couple of days before the grand opening.
We open Thursday morning, the 29th, at either 7 or 7:30 a.m.
As soon as you get out of bed.
That's right. No, actually, I promise I'll have nothing to do with the opening, so it may come off fine.
Just don't fall in your yard again.
No, I'll try not to do that.
Well, that's great. So today we're here just about an hour before an open house, which takes place from 2 to 4 in the afternoon.
Right.
On a Tuesday before the Thursday when the unit will open, and it's exciting. We saw staff going, looking at things, looking at screens in there, getting up to date to answer all the hard questions people might have today.
Oh yeah, they have really thought it through well. They've been involved in the design and everything, and it's just amazing what's going to be available to them, and they deserve it. Our staff deserves, the right environment, the right setup, the right systems to do their job well.
That's amazing. Other hospital, I don't know why, every time I think about coming over here, I like to read medical things and other journals and so on, and some of the major hospitals in our country right now are seeing a lower number of people coming in, patients. Some hospitals say they're in trouble because their censuses are way down. I don't hear that about CVPH.
Well, what we're seeing is actually more of a shift from inpatient to outpatient. But that's working well, and in fact we've kind of created part of that. I believe you and Calvin did the story about the short stay unit,
yes,
the cardiac short stay unit, and so that's cutting down on the number of admissions because people are they're going there and they're in and out within 24 hours. Again, we've grown the business, if you will, and kind of expanded the service area and with our physician recruitment and everything. So, knock on wood, we're doing okay.
Can't wait to take a little tour inside, Michael. What do you say?
I will hand you over to some people who really know what they're talking about.
You're very good at that, too.
Thank you.
We're with Mike Hildebrand at the new ECC. It's Cvph Medical Center in Plattsburgh. And now we're on the inside. John Zielinski, Kenny Thayer, how are you?
Nice.
Doing
How are you
great.
doing?
Fantastic.
Open house, are you ready?
Oh, absolutely.
Ties all straight. Notice I
Very
wore my
excited.
best tie today.
Straight, not too tight.
I don't have to do that anymore. 36 years every single day with a shirt and a tie.
And you wore it well.
Oh, well. In latter years, not so well. So this is exciting.
This is amazingly exciting. This has been a long time coming. We have now arrived at a point in time where we can show the dedication to our community, at least for our gateway to our hospital, which is the emergency room.
As I said to Mike as we introduced the program in the parking lot a few minutes ago, Calvin and I have been fortunate to be here as many of these changes unfolded over the years. And for myself, starting on the radio 50 years ago, covering a lot of events connected with Physicians Hospital, Champlain Valley Hospital, the combination thereof, a new ER Emergency Care Center in 1997.
1997.
You were only 7 years old, John.
Well, 7 times something.
And here we are again.
Yep.
This is truly great. Now, as Associate Vice President,
Yes.
what is that? Tell me what that means so I know to bow or scrape or...
No bowing,
salute
no
or-
bowing necessary. I just make sure that I create an atmosphere and an environment and eliminate barriers for Kenny to make sure that the patients get what they need.
They're going to get what they need, and we will too before this tour is over. And Kenny, you are...
I'm the interim director for the emergency department right now, nursing director.
That's kind of a heavy load, isn't it?
It's a lot to handle. I've been in management now for going on 5 years, and I was originally a clinical coordinator, and I took an assistant director position about a year and a half ago, and so the role as the interim director is very new to me right now. So I'm taking it all in.
We got a few pictures on the Yankees that we're watching with a similar role in a whole different venue.
This
But
is true.
it is exciting to see something like this happen, John. And as Calvin mentioned before the camera started, we had to have an emergency care center in operation the whole time this thing was being built.
There was a coordinated effort to make sure and to ensure that the care provided to the people that needed it and came through our ECC did not get disrupted. And it was everybody had to plan this and work diligently here to ensure that the back, the older part, didn't get disrupted. And it was an amazing effort by all, including Ken's staff, that had to withstand a compression, if you will, of space in order to provide at times up to 60 patients that came through at any given time, which when you only have 27 beds, you think about throughput. It's not easy, and it was a tremendous
Big
job by
challenge,
all.
Kenny.
It was a very big challenge for the nursing staff. When we launched the construction project, we did lose approximately 9 treatment spaces for construction, so we were working with a lot less real estate with the same number of patients during one of our busiest summers that we've had in a long time as far
Is it really?
as far as acuity wise.
Yeah.
So it's been very challenging to the staff. They've been very good at accommodating to the accommodations that they have or they've been given, and they've done an excellent job working their way through it and making it successful to a point where we're still providing excellent care to the community.
Will it really be ready by Thursday? That's what I need.
Oh, absolutely. We're ready.
Absolutely.
We're
Well,
ready now.
we're painting on the outside. We're working on the inside. We're putting sheetrock up. Chipping walls.
We've got some minor things to take care of. There's most of our rooms are already fully stocked, ready to
noticed
go.
that,
Treatment
yeah.
rooms are set and ready to go. It's more of from a technology kind of moving printers and computers and all that kind of stuff, making sure everything's operational. But we're coming in early on Thursday morning, and we'll be set to go live at 7 a.m. So
We're
the
coming
doors
in at
open.
5, and we're going to open up at 7.
Yep.
That's when all the technology
not
from the old
be
side.
here at 5.
Well, why don't you come on over? Come on,
I'll
Calvin.
be
You
having
guys
coffee on the deck at 5 o'clock saying, those guys, I can't believe it. But there is, we're laughing and smiling because we're glad to see this finished. It's a long, hard project. It's something we followed from the periphery for a long time. But boy, is it going to be great once things are rolling and all the glitches are out.
And this is only phase 1.
I
Phase
know.
2,
Yeah.
phase 2 we haven't even talked about yet, but that's starting already. It's already in the works. It's already in the process. But it'll be very nice in the middle of January when we're finally done phase 2 and we have a brand new fast track on top of a brand new behavioral decision unit where we can accommodate the community more from a behavioral
All
standpoint.
hospitals don't have fast tracks. This fast track has been a monumental success, almost beyond what anybody thought it would be, and we watch that happen almost on a daily basis. So this new project, on the other end, it's over my shoulder where the fast track has been located.
It has been located, and it'll be over in that end, so we will be all in one contiguous area that will promote
My
efficiency.
favorite word,
productivity.
contiguous, right? Oh, yeah.
I learned that one somewhere.
Oh,
along
you
the way.
I love it. But it's true. And we are, we don't talk about it nearly enough, but we will before we finish today again, about the tremendous staff that this medical center has amassed over the years. We're so fortunate to have many local people
Oh,
who
absolutely.
decide to live and work here, and out-of-town physicians who were attracted here because of our quality of life, John, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I spend a lot of time talking to people about this quality of life that we have here. Great schools, beautiful countryside now with the leaves changing, but it's true. Where are you originally from, Kenny?
I'm originally from Altona.
See what I mean, John?
You gotta keep them home. Well, I know.
No kidding.
Yep.
For me, I left 1980, and I came back 20 years later because this area provides that quality of life that is so
Are
essential.
you really from
I am
Altona?
originally from Altona, yes.
I love it. Where did your Puss in Boots travels take you after you left Altona? College somewhere?
I actually joined the military.
Did you really?
And I was in the military for 8 years in the Air Force, and
right.
so that's where I got my initial training. So most of the time I was in either Texas or Ohio. I did flight medicine, and from there I was stationed in Scotia, New York, out of their reserve base down there for about 3.5 to 4 years, and then I relocated or transferred to Vermont Air Guard, and I was there for another roughly 4 years or so, and I was a flight medic there.
This area does have an attraction which we don't have to spend a lot of time on here, but we talk about it often because we're very proud of the place we live and work.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, Calvin and I talk about it wherever we go. The small communities, the rural communities, Altona is perfect. Perfect example of the Tri-City area.
Yes.
I love it. But to come back, you know, I wish all of my kids could have come back here when they left. But my kids are much older than you guys, so when they left, things weren't as wonderful as they are now in terms of employment. I try to get them to come back home, and some do. So that's a good thing.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So you're looking forward to the real thing on Thursday morning.
I am.
You'll
It's
get up
very
long.
exciting.
You'll be up by 4 o'clock. You won't even
Probably
get any
before then.
sleep.
Probably before then. I don't think I've slept in the last week, so
Yeah.
no, it's very exciting to have a brand new facility, and you know, we've got a new medical director coming on board.
We do?
And, yep, he already started. He'll be here this afternoon, and myself in my new role, and John as our new AVP. You know, we've got a whole new reporting structure, and we look forward to having a whole new look at things and improve our processes and ultimately provide, you know, the excellent care that we
So
do
many
already
things
provide.
are happening in the healthcare business.
Yes.
Yes.
Across the nation, and many of them have been instituted right here at Cvph Medical Center and other facilities in the North Country over the past year. And they're all for the better, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, absolutely. You know, we're insulated in an area of the country that hasn't felt the total burden of some of the things that have happened nationwide, but we can't escape the healthcare issues that are coming down from Washington and just the constraints that are happening. And this is an opportunity for us to make sure that we're positioned properly to take care of our community. And it's a nice feeling to have that we have the opportunity, both financially and with a great staff, to be able to provide what we need to. For example, in 1997, when the old was new, we were geared towards a national health referendum that said ECC visits or emergency room visits should go down because of managed care. So we
Yeah,
designed.
we remember that, yeah.
So now we went from 30,000 visits a year to 50,000 visits a year. So now in a short 15-year period, we have the capacity didn't match the demand, and we're able to do that now. And it's such a relief to be able to say we can provide what we need to, given the fact that we have this new resource.
Well, we're going to be touring. We're going to be talking to people. My biggest problem is I'm used to being on the radio where we don't need pictures, so I just sit and chat. But it's bigger and better all the way around.
Yes, you know, we've got to kind of start from the front. We've added an additional check-in area so it'll be staffed with two nurses. So they'll be greeted with a nurse when they
That's over
enter
this
the
way?
facility. Yes,
Right here,
directly
yeah.
behind us.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's
so
go
our
ahead.
our main entrance, you know, again, we're going to be a little bit scattered
Let's
for the
walk
first
right
few months.
through, guys. I'll
Just
follow
with
you.
Just with the construction part of phase 2, we're going to be a little bit switched up as far as where the ambulances will be dropping off because of the back is going to be a construction
Oh,
area.
golly.
So we're going to have some
That's gonna be
changes
a
there.
little bit confusing for a while.
Yeah, so we're already in the planning phase as far as signage and to make sure that we guide the patients in the right direction as far as how to check in.
We hope nobody watching this ever has a chance to use this facility, but if they do,
Yes.
this is what they'll see when they walk in the
Yes.
door.
Yeah, this is the main check-in, and like I said, there's two areas of check-in, so it'll be staffed with, like I said, a nurse at all times, 24/7, and you know, directly behind us, we've got 4 treatment spaces. 2 of them will actually have stretchers, The other two will be basically sit-down booths, and that's where the patients will check in. So they'll be greeted by the nurse, they'll be brought into the back, and then that's when the treatment basically goes into effect as far as the nurses start processing them. And the ideal or the optimal thing is to get them before a provider as soon as possible. One of our process changes that we've instituted is that we've put a mid-level provider, which is either a physician assistant or a nurse practitioner, in triage. So some of the and it's for certain hours of the day. So more or less our busy hours from usually around 11 a.m. till 7 p.m. We've got a mid-level provider out there, and they see the patients that come in that have conditions or anything that needs to be taken care of. That can be taken care of rather quickly, if it's a medication refill or if it's an earache or a sore throat or something that just needs to be seen by a physician and maybe given a prescription or something. So we're still working on refining some processes with that, but for the most part the mid-level provider will be out here to see some of those patients when they initially hit the door. So they may not even actually physically make it into the emergency department or to a fast track room. They may be seen and discharged directly from triage.
It's all about flow and process,
Oh, it really is, isn't it?
because when your capacity is 50,000 service counts a year,
boggles the mind.
it's a huge amount. It's slightly under 200 visits a day, and we need to accommodate that and understand and give the best care to those specific needs. And Ken and his staff, they try to triage. They don't try, they do triage, and they direct patients according to acuity, and of which acuity is going in the direction that takes more time, which I think we all understand as our population ages. We no longer come in with just a simple cough. It could be other things, and that the flow and how we understand the patient and understand our capacity to treat those kinds of patients really has to be analyzed so that we can have standard processes to meet these things so that the flow continues. And that's patient satisfaction, that's service. If we can make sure that the patient comes in and gets what they need and then can be discharged appropriately in the shortest amount of time, it's best for everybody. It's best for the people that are waiting, and it's best for the patient not to have to wait.
In the past, almost everybody I've interviewed in capacities such as yours and nursing staff and so on say that they actually had some input into how this place was put together. And I know you guys went to the drawing boards right with the engineers, didn't you?
Yes, we originally had some plans that were developed that kind of been in the works for a while, and basically put them up in our staff break rooms and basically said, tell us what you want. Tell us what you want. One of the biggest sellers that the staff were very much in tune with is that they wanted their own private bathroom in the department. Because the distance between our department and our break room is a little walk. So to leave the floor when you've got a full patient load, they really wanted a private bathroom. So we gave them 2 private bathrooms. So they've got a bathroom now, so if they're on either side of the unit, they'll have a bathroom. And then obviously for the community, we also added additional bathrooms for them also.
Of course. I noticed that the minute I walked in the door.
But the nursing station that we developed was much more, is a lot more friendly for them, as well as the actual patient rooms where we've added an in-room computer. So when we finally get to electronic documentation, there's a computer at every single bedside in this new area. And
the waves are already coming ashore.
Right, and so phase 2, which is starting on Thursday, is we're going to put a computer in every room on the old side of the ER. So we'll be completely set to go once we decide what system we're going to be going with.
It's win-win all the way, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. This is an opportunity to hit every aspect of healthcare and the technology that's there to support it.
We're on our way.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
We're in a room, one of 9 rooms. Kathy Peterson, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
And Patty?
Yes.
What's the last name?
Taylor.
I'm delighted to meet you for the first time. You both look like old friends. So you've been here. Have you been here a little while, Pat?
7 years.
Yeah. See that? And you, Kat?
4.5.
Isn't that amazing? We're in one of the rooms to show what they look like. Number one, there are 9 of these
That's correct.
in the new.
Yes.
And Bedside Registration?
Yes.
What's that all about?
Well, in order to serve our patient population better, we're really looking to come to the patient. Instead of the patient having to share all their demographic and financial information right out front near the waiting room where others can hear, we're going to go right to the bedside. And we're going to register them on one of these mobile carts. And so a registrar like Patty will come right into the room with the cart, and we'll be able to talk to the patient in privacy. They can share all their information. We'll register them right here. We can scan their insurance cards right here on the scanner.
That's amazing.
And then all documents that they need to sign go on this electronic clipboard that we'll put the paper right on here. They sign it. It goes through right into the computer.
Boggles the mind.
And it goes right onto their
mind.
account. It's all electronic. So no longer will they have to wait out there. It doesn't delay care any. When they come in, they see the triage nurse. They go right to the room. We register them, and it's a much better situation for the patient.
What a great idea this is developed into. Was this a lot of training for you, Patty?
Not so much training, just adapting.
It's a good thing you're adaptable, huh? Because there are a lot of new concepts.
Yes.
They are a lot of new concepts. And then while the patient is being treated, another registrar will be actually verifying the insurance information, the coverage, and what their out-of-pocket expenses are going to be based on their insurance information. And once they've been treated, we will come back in the room, the registrar will, and we'll review a packet of financial information with the patient, and so that they'll fully understand before they leave here exactly what the obligation is, and if there's any applicable co-pays or deductibles, they'll be able to pay them right then if they like, and we can take the payments and put them right through on the computer.
Wonderful, amazing, and wonderful.
Yeah, so again, it's all in an effort to come to the patient, streamline the processes, and make it better for them, make the experience a better one.
Are you both really excited about Thursday morning?
We'll be excited, yes, make sure that everything goes well, and
Everything's plugged in, everything's fired up, everything's
working,
operating.
Yes. So hopefully it's smooth. We've spent a lot of time preparing.
A lot of meetings.
Yes.
Patty has been already busy using the mobile cart over in the existing emergency room.
Have you really?
Getting used to
you're
it.
pat at this now, Patty.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we
Oh,
put
that's
lots of
great.
electronic things in place in addition to the cart and scanner and clipboard and all that. We also have an electronic bedboard right across the way there that you'll be looking at that shows us when a patient needs to be registered. There's an icon on the bedboard that will indicate to Patty that she needs to go into the room.
Which we've instituted and works wonderfully. It does.
Excellent.
It does. It
Oh,
helps
I'm
a
so
lot.
glad. See? And of course, with people that are willing to try and make it all happen, it can happen, and it does.
Big differences.
Yeah.
Big differences from the former or the other present
Yes.
ECC that's in operation now.
Yes, but we will actually be using this process in the existing ECC as well, and then when the new fast track opens, we'll be using it there as well. So
The whole place is on a fast track, if you ask me, and that should be finished sometime in January, maybe?
yes, that's correct.
Isn't that
That's correct.
amazing?
But it's all about the patient, and it's all about trying to serve the patients better. So.
I love it. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks.
Have a great day, guys.
Right. You too. Actually,
These are called handoffs, like a football game. They handed it off to you. Kathy Bennett, how are you?
I'm doing fine today.
I'm so pleased to meet you. Are you from this area?
No, originally I'm from Tampa, Florida, and my husband and I have moved to the beautiful Adirondacks here in Plattsburgh, New York.
Isn't that amazing? It's like a magnet. It brings people here and brings our young people back.
Absolutely.
There are a lot worse places to live and work than the Adirondack region,
Oh, yes.
especially this time of year, Kathy.
Oh, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Terrific. So tell me your experience now.
Oh, I've been a nurse for 25 years, mostly in the ICU and the ER. 3 years ago, I came to Cvph, fell in love, and I am here now.
You must be in love with this new facility.
Absolutely. We are very fortunate to be able to give to the community a facility as this.
So have you worked in lots of hospitals?
Yes, sir, I have. For a couple of years, I was a travel nurse, so I worked all around
Did you really?
New York City, Orange
boy.
County area. Yes, yes, but nothing as beautiful as here in the Adirondacks.
No, so did you just kind of migrate here, or was there a job opening and you said, I think we'll go up there?
That's right. There was a job opening here at Cvph, and my husband's originally from Syracuse and always fell in love with the Adirondacks as a kid. So that brought us right into Cvph.
So what's your function here in the new ECC?
I'm a clinical coordinator on evening shift here in the ER.
And but you've been doing that for a while.
Yes, sir, I have. I went from being a travel nurse to accepting the position as a clinical coordinator here in the ECC. And we have a busy ER here, and we give the best care to the patients coming in and to the community.
How wild was the preparation and getting ready for today and tomorrow and Thursday?
Believe it or not, it was not too wild. We had a lot of people helping us, and it just all came together.
Was always your dream to work in this kind of a setting?
Absolutely. Yes,
Really?
sir. I have always loved the ER. I would work in the ICU, but I always came back to the
No
ER.
kidding.
Yes.
And some people love critical care, and some people love geriatrics, and some people like peds, and
Absolutely. And then if you love the ER, you'll always be back.
there will not be too many dull moments, at least for the next few days. I can promise you that.
Never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. But it is very rewarding.
Do you live right here in Plattsburgh?
Yes, we live right here in Plattsburgh.
Kathy, what will once the place gets organized and everything is smooth running, what will a typical day be like for you?
A typical day would be starting our shift around 2 o'clock, preparing the evening shift to meet the needs of the community and the patients coming in, and then just organizing and triaging the patients as they flow in, making sure their needs are met and their families' needs.
And hopefully not too many surprises in the next few days.
Hopefully not too many surprises.
Have you worked in any busier hospital than this one?
I would have to say yes, yeah.
Especially in the metropolitan area of New York.
Yes, in New York City, yes, quite busy. But we do have a busy ER here, and we have a big surrounding area that Cvph does cover. So.
That's why Calvin and I love to come over here once in a while, because we love to talk about this facility to people who may not have had the occasion to come here, and we hope none of our viewers ever has to come to this ECC, but to know that it's here, to be confident that trained, wonderful people like yourself are here to serve, and that they can come in here and have everything taken care of and go out of here feeling just fine. But also, it's amazing for us to tell our viewers how many people come through this ECC every year.
Yes.
Incredible.
Yes, about 50,000 people a year.
That blows my mind. 50,000 people, couple hundred people a day.
Yes.
It makes me tired just standing here holding the microphone. That is tough.
Yes, that
But to
is.
do a good job,
Do a good job and to take care of their patients, and just not the patients, their family members, because they're also very important. They're going through a tough time also, and that's what we do. And then we try to do it to the best of our ability, and we do.
so you'll be working mostly nights, Kat?
Evening shift.
Evening shift.
Yes,
Like-
from 2 to 12:30 during the evening. And every
Is that
other.
your choice, or did somebody
Yes,
say, I think this is your slot, Kathy?
No, that was my choice. That
Was it
was
really?
my choice. Yes, evening shift has always kind of been where I always enjoy.
Isn't that amazing? And you can sleep in till at least 6 o'clock in the morning on Thursday.
6 to 7.
Kathy, I hope we didn't put you on the spot too much.
No, not
It's
at
a
all.
pleasure to meet you. I know everything's going to be fine with you at the helm in the evening.
Well, thank you very much. And anybody coming in down tonight, I hope you enjoy looking at our new ER that takes care of the community here.
I know they will. Thanks again, Kathy
Thank you.
Davenport. Bye-bye. Kathy Bennett. Kathy Bennett. Not Kathy Davenport.
Kathy Bennett.
Oh, John. Where are we now?
Oh, as we just came in through the triage area, and we are now into the nurses station that is part of the new section of the main ECC. This is going to provide us with the nursing staff 24/7 for the new area, and we will have our old nursing station on the other side. But because of the proximity to the front end, that this is going to be our 24/7 station. The other one will flex according to shifts and whatnot. We have 3 teams that come on during high peak times, and it'll go down to 2 teams, one being here and one being over there, but it'll just, the configuration of rooms will change. Once again, it's the coordination of effort to meet the demands and to match the capacity.
You know, this looks like a fairly typical nurse's station, but everything else here is so new to me and so different from the old ECC.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Well, we've got all of our PCs that will be used to call up our clinical aspects in the clinical programs, as well as our tracking system that you can see as a huge representation on the
Oh,
side.
behind Calvin's shoulder.
Yeah, and that is cleansed for privacy purposes. It shows the census in our ECC, and it gives cues to the people that work here as far as teams, where they are, what status they're in, and whether or not they're the disposition that has been reached. So that's one of the programs that they can get on the PCs. We also have a nurse call system, which is very, very high end. It's high technology. That every room is equipped with a new Responder 5 nurse call system. That whenever any button is pushed in there, and there's several of them, that not only will it come here to the console, but they can talk back and forth to the rooms and get information. We have a telemetry monitor that allows, and that's this one right here, that allows I believe it's 12 rooms, and there's 11 here, so there'll be one missing, so that all of these rooms are telemetry capable. That means that they can be monitored remotely if need be, if they meet that criteria.
It's an amazing place, and without technology, we wouldn't have been able to do this. But the technology, for an outsider like myself, is just mind-boggling.
It is. It is amazing how much we rely on it,
Yeah. and
how much people have come to be used to it in our healthcare system, and it's a lot different than it was just 5 years ago. It grows exponentially, and we have to keep up with that technology curve.
And when the new fast track is finished in a few months, we'll be standing there talking about even more new technology.
Absolutely. It's something that we have to gauge every time we make a decision with a new resource, is how much information technology needs to go in it, and cost it out appropriately, because it's not an inexpensive venture. So, but it's something that we need to use to provide the healthcare standards that we need for our community.
You know, the transfer of information instantaneously and almost faster than instantaneously is always good for patients, especially in an ECC where they're coming here. You need information to get there, and you don't have to hire a runner to go next door.
Absolutely. We have technology, our tube system, to send samples to our lab, which is a quarter of a mile away.
You have it, the tube system?
Yeah, it's right around the corner.
Oh, my
we'll
goodness.
show that to you.
I
well,
love it.
yeah, but they're a little bit higher tech than
Are
they
they
were at.
not like Merkel's?
Yeah,
from
I
the
was
old
just going to
days,
say,
John?
You'd see
Yeah,
that
we
little
remember
tube
that
right
too.
up the window. Oh yeah. This is a little bit more high tech. It actually has self-routing, so that you can tell it where to go, and
Is
the
it?
tube. And tubes get sent back automatically because it knows how many
Sure.
you should have. So it's truly an amazing thing. But yet the timing of things, the speed of service, the speed of care. If we didn't have all of the technology, it would, with the volume that we have, we would need armies of healthcare workers to take care of the 50,000 service counts that we have come through here a year. But with technology, we can do 200 or a little bit less in a day, which it is mind-boggling.
It's mind-boggling, but just this program alone, John, thanks to you and the other experts we've talked to, instills confidence, and I hope many of our viewers will feel a lot better should anybody in their family have an emergency. They'll know they'll be well taken care of in this great new place.
Well, I was just talking to one of the community members that came in to our open house, and they asked the question, is this going to be faster than we're used to? And the hope is that we will always strive to have our capacity meet the demand in such a way that we meet the customer's voice. And we've heard that we need to have our throughput such that we're not waiting hours and hours and hours and hours. So this is our attempt to decompress the ECC in a manner that will allow our healthcare givers and providers to do what they need in a timely fashion, giving them the technology to support them, to support their decision making, and to support the care that they give.
I love it. God, you're a glib son of a gun, John. You did a great job. All
Thank
right,
you so much.
We'll move
Appreciate it.
along.
And here's the that's the tube system. As simple as it looks, the panel is not off of it yet, but it is high tech.
So that's what it looks like.
We don't have the tubes because this isn't in operation just
I know.
yet.
I think it's somewhere in my stuff, as my wife calls it. I have one of those old Merkel's canisters, old brass canisters.
Oh God, that's amazing.
I saw them. They've been in operation for 100 years, and I saw them in the stores in New York City going all over the place. Little did we know when I was 7 years old that we'd be in a new ECC that uses that technology plus.
Because it's all over the hospital, and those tubes travel. Like I said, it's all the way over to the MAB, which is Cornelia, almost towards Cornelia Street, and we're on the opposite side, closer to Meadowbrook. So you do the math, and I've never walked it, but it's a long distance.
It's pretty quick,
and it's quick. But
you won't need a centrifuge when you
keep in mind that they've got there's little gatekeepers in the system. I mean, electronic gatekeepers, because there's other tubes that go into the one main corridor.
Isn't that amazing?
And it stops and starts things inside the tube system, which is truly amazing. And if Chris,
I want to see the little man that crawls in there to fix it when one of them gets stuck somewhere.
No, they have little devices.
I know your last name, Kath. I really do.
But no, we have apparently there's special devices that can get in there and do that, clean it out. They have special devices that go in and clean that out.
They have little robots to chase the other little robots.
But it's an amazing technology.
It's amazing. And so most places in the hospital have one of these somewhere?
Well, the lab does, the OR does, the ECC does, Progressive Care does, as well as the ICU does. So it's the areas that need a lot of, they transmit a lot of labs and cultures and things like that need quick turnarounds, and they need to get it there quicker. Otherwise, we'd have an army of runners running things all
in
over.
the old days, things had to be carried, hand
No,
carried
absolutely.
from place to place. We've interviewed people whose job it was to take samples over to the lab.
Absolutely. Those days are
Yeah.
going away.
Isn't it
You
great?
know, thankfully that
All for the better.
all for the better.
Not only better for the patients, but better for staff. They can accomplish so much more.
Oh, absolutely. You know, there's in my world, and I came from a manufacturing world. I was never in healthcare, so 23 years of manufacturing. You know, there's a concept of value-added work and non-value-added work, and really having somebody run all over the place is not really value-added, and this provides an opportunity to free up a human resource to provide more value to the customer than just running all over the place. So you're absolutely right. It is. The staff get to provide care rather than run around.
Wherever you look in here, there's new technology, not only people, and thank God people are still important in an ECC, aren't they?
Oh man, that's what service is all about. Technology can't provide the service.
Yeah.
The service is provided by human contact and relationship, and that's what the staff need to be freed up to do, because as we get more complex, as we have more technology to try and solve the problems, we can't forget that the patient is there, and we need to free the staff up to be able to have that relationship, that service relationship with the patient, and that's tough to do in an environment that is fast-paced and sometimes very chaotic like the ECC. But that's our goal.
You know, John, I don't think I asked you how many people will actually be working in this new ECC, all told.
Kenny would probably be better
More than
suited
seven,
for that.
I'll bet.
More than 7. I think that there's around 90.
Are you
given
kidding me?
given the shifts and the different roles that they play, it requires a small army to do this, and it's something that we struggle with because you know that there's a nursing shortage, and we have to try to encourage people to come to our beautiful area which we talked about earlier.
All the time.
Which in a large portion that is a calling card. I mean, we can get that, and we can show people the community. It's getting them here to show the community.
You know, we've talked about that over and over again with Stevens and with his predecessors down through the years. How do we recruit? How do we get these top physicians up here just to take a look at this area? That's the thing. Once you get them here, you got them hooked.
Oh, absolutely.
All they have to do is see that lake and see the colleges and see the schools that we have. And
our Office of Medical Affairs it does a tremendous job of getting people in and showing them the area, and they work heavily with the community to find opportunities for spouses and things like that a lot of people don't understand. Is a struggle to staff in a rural area.
Absolutely.
So we do a real good job. Is it always what we want? Not always, because healthcare it fluctuates so much that we constantly are striving to meet the staffing that we need to get the expertise that we need.
we like what we see.
Good.
The open house is underway, and we'll continue our little tour.
Sounds good.
Right, John? Okay, Liz Craigmile, a Scottish name,
Yes.
but so is Little,
Ah.
and it spells a lot easier than
Yes, it
Craigmile
does.
does.
Yes, it does.
I wonder if our ancestors played quoits or some other ancient game together?
My maiden name was Daly, so Irish, but my husband is Scottish, so I didn't get far from the
Same thing in
islands.
my family, and they ended up in Letterkenny in Northern Ireland, and then over here, and here we are.
And here we are in Plattsburgh, New York.
Liz,
Yes.
where are you originally from here? Or where?
No, I grew up in a little town south of Albany, Catskill. So I'm a transplant.
Everybody knows where Catskill is because that's upstate New York.
Oh, yes.
when you're from Rockland County. or
They don't
Orange.
think anything is farther north,
So
no.
how'd you end up here, Liz?
It was kind of a long journey. I went away to school in Rochester, and then I lived in Buffalo for 10 years, and then I actually was considering moving to Boston, and I had a sister that lived here. I'd gone to school at Plattsburgh State. So she said, oh, come up to Plattsburgh for a bit, and, that was 17 years ago.
And here you are still, and the same thing happened to me
Yeah.
50 years ago. I'll go to Plattsburgh for 6 months and then see what the world offers, and guess what?
It was a pit stop, and I
here
never
we are.
left.
I love
I
it.
never left, yeah.
So what's your educational background?
Well, I am a registered nurse, and I work here in the emergency care department. I have for 13 years. I'm one of the clinical coordinators. I work evenings, so I'm one of the evening nursing supervisors. And we're just thrilled to have had the opportunity to open up this new space for the community.
I
Really
said the
wonderful.
word amazing and incredible and fantastic and unbelievable. So I've worn all those adjectives out in the course of our program today. But it is wonderful.
It is.
It is amazing, and I'm sure as an insider, it's pretty neat for you, too.
Well, it is fun, all the new technologies, there's no doubt about it. But I'll tell you, I was working not this past weekend, but the weekend before, and we were just to the walls with people. And I kept looking at the plastic sheeting for the new part, and I kept thinking, oh, it can't
please,
open soon enough,
please,
it can't open soon
please.
enough. And so it's been a bit of a battle for us to get here, because we actually lost space before we gained
Oh, I
all this
know.
new space.
Oh, I'm
In
very aware
the
of
construction,
that.
yes, they had to
Does
pull in our
anybody
walls.
Anybody who used the old ER
Oh, yes.
during the process, but here we are, and this is so much bigger and so much better
Yes.
with 9 rooms. This is a special room we're in now. Why?
It is. It's one of the negative pressure rooms. We can use it for respiratory isolation, TB, that sort of thing. If someone comes in with a fever of unknown origin and a rash, we're worried, of course, that it could be a situation where they would be able to contaminate others that are in other rooms. So we bring them into this room, and when we shut the door and flip a switch, it allows for a different aeration of the room, such that if they have droplet disease, it won't spread. So it's really,
really an
wonderful
isolation
technology.
room, isn't
Yes, it is. Yes, it
It's
is.
amazing.
Yes, and there's 2 of them. They flank each other with an ante-room in between, because that's the area where the healthcare provider would enter and decontaminate, of course, before going out into the rest of the unit.
Most of us would not even realize that was necessary until you explained it so well, Liz.
It is. We had 2 similar rooms in the old portion of the ER, and I find it hard to call it the old because I've been
know.
here since before
Oh, God,
that
yes.
was built in '97. But it is just necessary with the volumes that we've been doing and the kind of cases that we see, that we have that additional resource, augmented. And in these 2 rooms now, we have 4 isolation rooms, so it really brings up our ability to treat that sort of situation.
Not that you're an old hat at this, but you've been doing it for a while.
Yes, I have.
What are the differences in patients' complaints?
Oh, it's colossal.
In the ECCs
It's-
when you started?
It's colossal. Our acuity has really, really skyrocketed, especially since the advent of the cardiac program here. Years ago, we used to initially treat and stabilize and then transfer a certain segment of the population that would come to see us, and now we're a hub for that segment. We see a lot of cardiac patients from as far away as Malone and Star Lake,
sure.
and we're the center where they're getting their definitive care, which that never used to be. So it has incredibly increased our acuity, the volume as well as the sickness, as you might want to say, how sick the patient is seeing, coming into our doors. So.
But I've been here a lot longer than you have, and the changes I've seen just as an outsider looking in have been phenomenal since I first moved, actually since I first worked in this area in the early 1950s and came to work in the media, in the radio business in 1961. As somebody said before, when they sent me an email, as I mentioned to John, from California this morning, I guess it's not your grandfather's physician's hospital anymore.
No, it isn't.
It's truly amazing. It's redefined the word medical center.
Absolutely. Well, we're the fourth largest rural medical center in the country.
I'm so glad you mentioned that.
Yes,
And
so
that's something to be proud
something
of.
people don't realize. They think, oh, it's just little CVPH up on the hill. But we see an incredible volume of patients, more so than many larger medical centers, because we're the only game in town and the only game for miles. And there are smaller, very rural centers, such as E-Town and such, that really are a transport center to us.
Of course.
So we see, well, I would imagine we're projecting volumes into the 60,000 range. Right now we're hovering somewhere around 54,000 a
I
year.
can't even
in annual
imagine,
visits.
I said it before, and I can't imagine 50,000 into the old ECC or the old ER, as we've called it for so
That
many
was
years.
built in 97 to
Yeah.
see about 37,000
Oh, I
people,
know.
if that gives you a little bit of
Because it was
a...
going to go down. We weren't going to see nearly as
Oh
many.
yeah, we'll never need more space than this.
Wow.
I remember when I first came from the med-surg floors to work in the ER, and they said to me, don't worry, this is the busy time of year.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it'll slow down, and we were seeing about 36,000 then, and it just never did. In the last 10 years, we've gone up and up and up and up, and I keep saying, when's the slow time? when is that break they're going to promise me?
Ain't gonna
But,
happen.
obviously, we've nearly doubled the number of people that we saw then, and that's only been in a decade.
You
so.
know, I like to tell people that we're recording this program a couple of days before the new ECC is scheduled to open officially. And we're right in the middle of what looks to be a very successful open house from 2 to 4 in the afternoon. And even the bosses were pleased to see lots of folks coming, politicians,
Yes.
John Q. Public Office Street, retired nurses and physicians coming in here to see how it's different. And
Well, we're
so
really a
they all
community.
spread the word. We are, and you know what? As you were talking, it dawned on me how fortunate we are that, and everybody can wear this hat for a while, because we've all generated support for this facility in one way or the other. And the North Country has embraced this medical center. If they didn't, it could never survive.
I completely
So
agree.
when they need to raise funds for one reason or another, or have a capital campaign, people are right there to write the check because they know there's the need.
Well, absolutely. You know, we all have a vested interest in making it the best, and the people that work here are from the community, so, you know, we're treating our own, so it really does make a difference into the level of care that's given as well.
You know, we're delighted that you migrated here and emigrated to our area. One of the first guys I talked to was Kenny with John this morning, and I said, Ken, where are you from? He said, Altoona.
Right here, right. Yeah, I'm one of
That's
the
as good as it
imports.
gets.
Well, for years, it was funny. As I first started out in as a triage nurse even, I would hear, you're not from around here a lot
You're
when
not
I do
from
my,
here.
yes, when I do my intake. So I consider it quite a privilege because I don't hear that much anymore, so I must be fitting in.
You'll have to learn that Altoona accent
Yeah.
from Kenny. He'll teach you everything you need to know. You know what? I hope I didn't put you too much on the spot.
No, it's enjoyable.
Delightful to have you here. I know things will go very well.
Well, thank you very much, and it's good to see that you're showing the community the wonderful situation we have here now to provide care, the great new addition to the ER. So.
Have you been to Scotland?
I have not. I'm planning a trip this
come
year.
on.
I have been to Ireland, though. That's
And so have
that's
I.
wonderful. Yes, magical,
Dublin?
magical place. Yes,
I
yeah. Flew into
particularly
Dublin.
like the Guinness factory. I wonder why.
It's marvelous, isn't
But
it?
Edinburgh and various places in Scotland you will love.
Yes. I'm looking forward to it.
I just interviewed a wonderful lady who has a mobile veterinary clinic, and I said, where did you get your degree? She said, Edinburgh.
And wonderful.
Isn't that great?
Yes, that is. That
I
is
love
nice.
it.
Yeah.
Liz, it's so great to meet you.
Thank you very
Best
much.
of luck in everything you do.
We'll continue to try to improve, strive for the best.
I love it.
All right.
I got to tell you, this is a real terrific experience, Ken. And as I look around, I can see that the public is into this as well.
Yes, I'm
Because it is
very,
their medical center, after all.
Yep, I'm very happy with the community turnout that I've seen so far come through here, and we've only been doing the community tours for about a half hour. It's definitely exciting, very exciting.
I thought before we wrapped it up at this new ECC at Cvph Medical Center in Plattsburgh, we should talk a little bit about the construction and size of this facility. So
Okay.
Pour your brains out there. For me.
Sure. So, as it was mentioned earlier, in '97 we remodeled, and the square footage then was somewhere right around 10,000 square
Yeah.
feet. When all is said and done, and we've got phase 2 complete, and that'll be at the end of, or in the middle of January, we'll be looking at doubling our square footage. We'll be just under 20,000 square feet. And with that, it will have added a brand new fast track, 11 new treatment rooms in the main ER, plus a 4-bed behavioral decision unit. So it's going to be a much larger space, and in that space we're servicing, or providing all the needs for the community.
Besides being a much larger space, everything is so much more efficient.
Yes.
Cutting edge technology. It's just an amazing difference.
Yes, the technology piece is definitely going to be great for the nursing staff, make them a lot more efficient in their duties and their tasks, and make the overall efficiency of the ER much more efficient, hopefully.
I wish I could make your sleeping habits more efficient, so you maybe get 5 or 6 hours sleep over the next week and a half.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you're young and healthy, Kenny.
Yes, the anxiety has been quite high the last week or so.
I know it has
Just
been.
making sure everything goes off and everything comes together, and I'm feeling very confident and very good about everything so far. We've got the department pretty much completely stocked. It's just a matter of some minor details as far as putting some last minute things together and moving some printers and all that kind of thing. As far as we're set for the staffing. We've got the staffing all set to go for the next couple of weeks, and we look forward to opening our new area and just serving the community.
This program itself will be in historical archive, so that after another 15 years, we can look at it and see phase 2. Those were the dark ages. Wow, look what they had back then. But right now, we're loving every minute of it. Kenny, we didn't mean to take your whole day up
No problem.
here, but it's important to tell this story.
Absolutely.
And to let people who may never, thank goodness they may never have had to use the ECC or the ER at Cvph Medical Center, but to be wherever they are watching this and to be confident that their family is covered
Yes.
if they ever have to come here.
Absolutely.
You're the man. Great to meet you. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This has been a tremendously enriching experience for Calvin Castine and me, Gordy Little, because I didn't know exactly what we would expect, having watched this construction take place at the new ECC at Cvph Medical Center in Plattsburgh for some months now. To be able to be taken inside, to be shown all the inner workings, the great new technology, the staff and so on, was just a wonderful experience for all of us, and we hope for you as well. Our thanks to Mike Hildebrand, to John and Kenny, and all the people we interviewed on this program for being so tremendously intelligent, knowledgeable about what's happening here and what will happen in the future. We're recording this on the 27th of September 2011, 2 days before the actual ECC will be opening for public use. A great open house has taken place today. Many of our friends and your friends have been through to see what the operation is all about, and I reiterate, it is your medical center, and I appreciate the fact that you and your friends and neighbors in the North Country are embracing the whole concept of the Cvph Medical Center. We like your comments and suggestions about what we should do, where we should do it, and some people even tell us where to go. And we love your comments and suggestions. We also like your checks. Send a generous check to Calvin Castine at Hometown Cable on the Ridge Road in Champlain. And who knows where we're going to be next time for our little corner.